Hello viewers, welcome to CodeForAny Fruit Markets apps. Inside today need to integrate this here the order delivers API we need to call here. First of all need to initialize here the delivery boy apps. User inside the enable this here the locations methods need to call here. If you getting any buildings and errors, then to downgrade this here the versions. I have already downgrade this versions need to put here. Otherwise need to making here the ARGB errors need to get inside this debug console log. If you get like this errors, then to downgrade this here the versions need to 40 to 30. 0.4 need to set here, otherwise need to get here the errors. Now we need to first of all the if here the delivery boy users we need to log in here, then after we need to enable this here the location managers. We need to call this here the location helper dot share, and we need to call this here the init start methods. We need to start init, we need to call here for these methods and initialize these here the locations. Like we need to calling here, and then after we need to managing this here the everything, so we need to configure here. Now we need to go here the order detail screens of the delivery boy users. Now we need to go inside here the orders, and we need to find out here the orders inside the delivery boy detail screens here, and we need to write down here the one buttons we need to create. After here the status we need to change here, like here status, order status, order status is equal to, need to set here the 3, like here, and we need to create here the buttons deliver, like here, and we need to create here the another row and expanded. Now we need to copy, and we need to paste this here, and we need to set this here the sized box, set here the width, set here the 15, and we need to set here the comma, and we need to set here the cancel order, cancel. Likes we need to showing like this here the buttons and look like this here the show, and maybe we need to check here the colors, background color, maybe check here the property, primary types, we need to round, button types we need to set this here the line buttons. For the cancels we need to show like this here. If you user are the press delivers, then to call this here the one API for the delivery boy order delivers API we need to call here. Now need to find out this API calls here, like here we need to creating here copy, and we need to paste this here, and we need to write down here the order delivered, and we need to apply here the one methods, copy, and we need to paste this here, and we need to set here the order delivered, like we need to paste this here, and we need to set here, copy, close this here, and replace this here. After this change this here the status, we need to integrate here the, need to set here the order status, set here the for deliver, need to show like this here. Now we need to call here the API inside this here the deliver buttons, order ID, order item ID underscore ID, set here the widgets, paste this here, order item ID. Then after, so need to set this here the latitudes and longitudes. Need to set here latitudes and longitudes. We need to get this here the location helper dot shade, and we need to get this here the need to check here the last location dot latitudes. If not gets, then to set here 0.0, set here option, and we need to set this here the string. Need to check this here errors, go definitions, last positions here, close. Need to fix this here the issue. Okay, also need to calling here the 0.0. Hence now need to copy, and we need to paste here, and we need to replace with here the longitudes, and we need to save here. Now need to get any errors for remove a comma, fix these errors. Next, we need to configure for these API calls. And another API we need to calls here the cancels order deliver cancels like methods we need to call here. So first of all, we need to copy here the order delivers API here, and to another API we need to put here the deliver cancel. Now need to again write here the one more API, copy here, we need to paste this here, and we need to set this here the cancel order, cancel, save here, and we need to replace this here, and we need to set here the status as we need to updating this for these orders items. We need to status 6 we need to implement here for the canceling these orders, like we need to configure here and save here. Need to fix this here the delivers, fix this here the typo, and we need to cancels inside the call here the API. Order cancels. We need to configure this here. These parameters also need these parameters. Need to paste here. And one more parameters we need to need this here the reasons. Now temporary need to take this here the direct user not accepted. User are not accept delivery. This is the set here the direct static reasons we need to configure here, and make sure we need to show here the pop-ups. SD show alert 2 buttons need to set here the titles globes dots app name, and you need to make sure. Are you sure? Order or cancel and OK buttons. Need to call this here on cancels. Okay, inside we need to call here this API. Cancels means no any things need to any operations need to not perform like here. And same as you need to configure as a delivers orders, you need to confirm orders buttons you need to press here. Cut here for this API calls and we need to replace with this here the API calls. Are you sure? Order deliver. Like this, we need to managing this here the everything's are the needs here the calling here the buttons and we need to configure this API. And same as now need to calls here the deliver buttons and to get this here the product market apps. Are you sure? Order or deliver, so need to give it here the okay. And items orders, maybe we need to make here the mistake for the API calls item orders ID. You need to fix this here the parameter issue. Save here and we need to call here the against API. Gets here server internal errors we need to get for the API calls. We need to fixing this here the Node.js inside. We need to first of all the read this here the headers. Now we need to open this here the Node.js here and we need to get here the errors. We need to check this here the console and we need to unknown corners of the delivery boy ID where close we need to find out here this errors. We need to line of codes. We need to find out here need to get this here the 9 for 3 number of lines. We need to get this here the errors 9 for we need to get here the 9 for here order ID and delivery boy where delivery boy ID need to update here, so need to remove here unused columns need to remove here. Save here and also need to false here. We need to save and again so need to restart this here and we need to check against. Need to get here the another errors line numbers of this 960. We need to find out here this line of codes and question marks maybe need to errors need to not passing here the value of need to check here the nearest error syntax error manual corporations db versions and write syntax of errors. maybe here not given this here the value. After accepted orders, we need to set here the status. Two or biggers. Now against need to get here the fails because we need to make here the conditions to check here the order status. Now we need to database inside the fix these here and order delivered successfully. We need to get this year's message and deliver these orders. Also need to get here the delivers. Need to like this. We need to check yours in these calls and we need to check here for these orders. Need to new deliveries orders list. We need to fix this here the one more issue or the new order list. Not an issue. You need to check here. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any questions, so please write down the comment sections. I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.